Alex's journey to ancient Egypt in Mrs. Johnson's classroom. The afternoon sun streamed through the windows as she prepared for the most exciting lesson of the week. 10-year-old Alex sat in the front row, his notebook ready and pencil sharpened. Today, children, we are going to learn about one of the most amazing structures ever built by humans, Mrs. Johnson announced, clicking her presentation remote. Suddenly, the classroom screen filled with an image of three massive triangular structures rising from golden sand. The Great Pyramids of Egypt, she declared. Alex's eyes widened. He had never seen anything so magnificent and mysterious. The pyramids looked like giant stone mountains, perfectly shaped and towering against the blue sky. These incredible structures were built over 4,500 years ago, Mrs. Johnson continued. The Great Pyramid of Giza was originally 481 feet tall, that is about as high as a 40-story building, and it was built without modern machines, cranes, or trucks. Alex raised his hand eagerly. How did they move such heavy stones, Mrs. Johnson? That's one of the great mysteries, Alex. Each stone block weighed between 2 to 15 tons. The ancient Egyptians were incredibly clever engineers. They used ramps, rollers, and thousands of workers to achieve this incredible feat. As Mrs. Johnson showed more pictures of Sphinx, the intricate passages inside the pyramids, and the beautiful hieroglyphs, Alex felt a strange tingling sensation. It was as if the ancient world was calling to him. The pyramids weren't just tombs, Mrs. Johnson explained. They were gateways to the afterlife, filled with treasures, food, and everything the pharaohs would need in their journey to eternity. When the school bell rang, Alex barely heard it. His mind was still in ancient Egypt, wondering about the people who built these wonders. That afternoon, Alex rushed to the library. He pulled out every book he could find about pyramids, ancient Egypt, and pharaohs. He read about the mysterious builders, the complex mathematics used in construction, and the fascinating burial chambers deep inside the pyramids. Look at this, Mom! Alex showed his mother a picture of workers moving massive stone blocks. They used copper tools and wooden levers to move stones that weigh as much as elephants. His mother smiled at his enthusiasm. You've really been captivated by these pyramids, haven't you? They're incredible, Mom. Did you know that the Great Pyramid was the tallest building in the world for over 3,800 years? And it is so precisely built that you couldn't even fit a knife blade between the stones. That evening, Alex continued reading until his eyelids grew heavy. His last conscious thought was about the sound of chisels hitting stone and the voices of ancient workers calling to each other across the desert. As sleep took hold, something magical happened. Alex opened his eyes to find himself standing on warm sand, wearing a simple white tunic and leather sandals. The air was filled with the sounds of hammering, shouting, and the groaning of heavy ropes. Before him rose an enormous pyramid, but it wasn't finished yet. Workers swarmed over its sides like busy ants. Khenti, there you are, called a voice. Alex turned to see a boy about his own age, with dark hair and sun-bronzed skin, waving at him. Somehow, Alex understood that Khenti was his name in this ancient world. Come help us with the limestone blocks, the boy said. My name is Senab, and my father is one of the master builders. Alex, now Khenti, followed Senab to where dozens of workers were carefully positioning massive stone blocks. He watched in amazement as they used wooden levers, copper tools, and ingenious ramps to move stones that seemed impossible to lift. "How do you make it so perfect?" Khenti asked, touching the smooth surface of a completed section. "My father says it takes great skill and patience," Zeynep replied proudly. "Every stone must fit exactly right, or the whole pyramid could fall down." The priests and engineers check every measurement twice as they worked together, moving smaller stones and bringing water to the thirsty workers. Khenti learned about life in ancient Egypt. He saw how the Nile River provided life to the desert, how families worked together on this great project, and how proud everyone was to be building something that would last forever. "Why do we build these pyramids?" Khenti asked as they rested in the shade. An elderly master builder overheard him. "Young one, we build these pyramids because they connect earth to sky, life to afterlife. Our pharaoh will rest here, and from here, his spirit will journey to the stars. This pyramid will stand forever, telling future generations that we were here, that we created something magnificent." As the sun set over the desert, painting the pyramids golden red, Khenti felt a deep sense of pride and wonder. He was part of something bigger than himself, something that would amaze people thousands of years in the future. "Khenti, Khenti," Zeynep shook his shoulder gently, but the shaking turned into his mother's voice. "Alex, honey, time to wake up for school." Alex opened his eyes to find himself back in his own bed, morning sunlight streaming through his window. But the dream felt so real that he could still smell the desert air and hear the sound of construction echoing across the sand. At breakfast, Alex excitedly told his parents about his incredible dream. "It felt so real, Mom. I was actually there, helping to build the pyramids. I could feel the hot sun and the rough stones. That's the power of learning and imagination working together," his father said with a smile. "When you're truly fascinated by something, your mind can take you on the most amazing journeys." At school that day, Alex raised his hand during Mrs. Johnson's class. "I dreamed I was an ancient Egyptian helping to build the pyramids. It made me realize how incredible those people were. They created something that still amazes us thousands of years later." Mrs. Johnson beamed. "That's wonderful, Alex. You've discovered something magical. When we truly engage with history, it becomes alive for us. Those ancient builders were real people with dreams and skills, just like you." From that day forward, Alex continued exploring the wonders of ancient civilizations. But he never forgot his night as Khenti, the young Egyptian who helped build one of the world's greatest wonders. The experience taught him that learning isn't just about facts and dates, it is about connecting with the incredible human story that spans across time. And sometimes, late at night, Alex would look up at the stars and remember the words of the master builder. "We created something magnificent that will tell future generations that we were here." Now Alex understood that every time he learned about the pyramids, he was keeping that ancient promise alive. The moral of the story: true learning goes beyond memorizing facts. It ignites our imagination and connects us to the incredible achievements of people throughout history. When we approach learning with curiosity and wonder, we don't just study the past. We become part of the continuing human story of discovery and achievement.